hit it. Magic 95, today's best music. Coming up next, Neon Trees.
Take me to your love shack. Mama's always got a backtrack when everybody talks big.
Nickelback.
So just close your eyes. Well, honey, it comes a lullaby.
Train.
Oh, I swear to you, I'll be there for you. This is not a drive.
That's the way I finally fathomed it too. That's what our last conversation. So and you talked to Virginia about that. We're good to go now. Thank you.
Say your time, always seems to be right.
You want that out of your way?
I think she's here. I don't know who she is, but I saw a young girl coming in here.
Now, one young lady went out with Bo. But I don't think that's the naughty girl. No. The teacher. Yeah, is out there with Bo. No, I've not seen any evidence of our client or our person. I called her the naughty girl. And I'm on mine. Are you saying ready?
I've already asked Larry to hit that way and check that.
Ready? Ready to go. Call the meeting to order.
Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll, please.
Dr. Shu,
Here.
Mr. Jester,
Here.
Ms. Romeo. Here. Ms. John.
Here.
Mr. Sharam.
Here.
Colonel Hasselhoff.
Here.
Special guests and special recognition tonight.
No recognitions or guests this evening?
Architect's report.
None this evening.
Departmental report.
No, sir.
Your report, please.
Under item 7A, I'd just like to share with the board that repairs on the gymnasium at MacArthur High School are underway. They started on those late last week. The repairs to the roof, of course, will take place first, and then to the interior of the gym. Right now, the scheduling looks like we should be on a good schedule to have it ready to go. We should be on a good schedule to have that ready to go when school starts. And of course, we'll do our best, but the vendors and everybody involved, especially Brock's and Ford Roofing and others, have just stepped up, and while they might get paid for it, they still do it with a little extra spring in their step because they're taking care of our children. And that's really appreciated when you work with them. Under item 7B, I would ask you this evening to consider and take action to approve the revisions of the 2012-2013 school calendar. That appears on page 1 in your agenda. I had visited with you just briefly previously on the school calendar and given you proposed revisions prior to this evening. Pretty much the calendar is going to be the same, with the exception of the fact that we are going to include in that calendar 4 half days of staff training. We have Common Core state standards that are coming down that teachers have to be trained on, and it has to be placed into our operation by the start of the next school year. We are implementing part of those this year, and we will be this upcoming year, and we'll be implementing another portion during the following year. Those state standards, or those Common Core standards, are the ones you're hearing about that are nationwide, that states are approving. And in order for us to do proper training for our staff, we need a little more time than the days we've had in the past. So what we're doing is adding 4 half days, and those half days will take place in September, October, December, and February. We'll have students come to school in the morning, and right after lunch we'll dismiss them, and the teachers will go into a training session for a half day. That will give us 2 additional days of training and allow us to do some very specific focusing on the schools themselves rather than doing on district-wide things, so that can be a very much a localized preparation to help that staff get their information both vertically aligned and horizontally aligned, which basically means the freshmen through the seniors, the 1st through the 6th grade, they're all working on the same pacing in terms of making sure that the items that need to be covered are covered at the appropriate time, covered thoroughly, and are in place when we are tested on those things, so that we have given our children an ample opportunity to be successful. The other change that we have made to the calendar that is significant is Veterans Day. In the past, students have not had to come to school on Veterans Day, but teachers and employees have had to work. I'm recommending that be changed to a holiday. We live in a community where there's a tremendous number of veterans. I think there's a respect issue there. I also think this is an opportune time, since we're building in these other days, to do that. So I'm recommending that change as well. School will start on August 17th, as we had proposed on the last calendar. It will end on May 24th for teachers, May 23rd for students, and there are clearly marked 2 inclement weather days in this calendar. After forgetting to do that last time, I assure you, they are indicated quite clearly. They will occur on the Friday before spring break. So if we don't have to use it by the 14th of March, students will have 1 day longer on spring break. They'll get the Friday. And then the last one is on the Friday before school is out, May 17th. And so that should work out well. Hopefully we won't need those, but if we do, we have them. And I would ask for your approval of that calendar, along with, in a minute there I will give you some information on the policy for building the calendar, because I want to start building next year's calendar as soon as the 2013-2014 calendar as soon as we approve this 2012-2013 calendar.
Any questions?
No, I just have a question about graduation. Since we made that little move, how was that perceived? How did that go with changing that up a little bit?
I have not had a negative comment about that at all. It seemed to work quite well, and I know staff was very appreciative not to have to work on Saturday. So they also got a long weekend. So it did go well, and I think the opportunity to continue to do that will probably be proposed to you again.
I'd move for approval on the 2012-13 calendar.
I second.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Sharon?
Yes.
Mr. Jester?
Yes.
Ms. John?
Yes.
Ms. Romeo?
Yes.
Dr. Schutz?
Yes.
Thank you. Item 7C also deals with the calendar, but it is the policy portion of the calendar, the rules we use to make it. And some of those have been tweaked just a little bit in order to facilitate getting the calendar effectively to match what we needed to do in order to have school. The thing that is confusing right now is that teachers are on a 180-day contract. Students are on a 1,080-hour school year. So teachers will work more than 1,080 hours, obviously. And in our instance, students will actually go to school more than 1,080 hours. But it all will happen within that 180 days. So what is being proposed to you this evening, previously under item 1 on the calendar change, the school year shall end, or the 180th day shall be during the week preceding Memorial Day. It used to say Friday. This year, of course, it ended on a Thursday. Depending on what goes on with the calendar, sometimes we can end it a little bit earlier. So it still will end in that 1 week. The number of parent-teacher days, conference days, the law prescribes for us to be able to count 2. The number of paid designated holidays for 12-month employees, both certified and support, that fall during that 180 days will be the same days that students and staff are out of school. They will be off exactly the same days. Number 4, there will be 3 designated days for fall break instead of 2. That is partially because we will be doing, not partially, let me back this up. There are two reasons for that. One, the Wednesday that we've been doing a half day on before we went to fall break is a national testing day for the PSAT test, and that hurts us tremendously to be out of school on that day. So what we built in the calendar for next year is that we will do our parent-teacher day, our first one, on Monday night from 4 to 7, and then come back on Tuesday, where we've always done 4 to 7 as the other part of it. Then Wednesday have a regular school day, but then be off the following Monday. So it will become a 5-day break, Thursday through Monday. And we'll be putting the Monday in as the break to replace the time that they would have been off on Wednesday afternoon. They actually come out a half day ahead on it. But it should be a good thing, and it will make it a nicer spring break, and it does always fall at the end of the first 9 weeks. I'm sorry to name my glass. Number 5 is the Thanksgiving break. She'll consist of the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and will be the week of November in which the holiday falls. Number 6, there will be 2 inclement weather days, and they will be labeled appropriately in the calendar, I promise. Number 7, the winter break shall consist of 10 weekdays. And number 8, the spring break shall consist of 5 weekdays, shall be placed at the end of the first or third 9 weeks. Now, your first question may be, well, next year you're already showing us it could be 6, but spring break is only 5 for sure. And then if we have the inclement weather day, that would be the 6th one, that would be a weekday. And then number 9, it's the intention of the board to have this approved at least 12 months in advance. The reason it was not this year is totally my fault in revamping it, trying to figure out what the state wanted us to do in the way of next year's expectations. But it is my intent to bring back to you in July the calendar for the 2013-2014 year, so that that's off the table and not an issue for another year.
Move for approval of the revisions to the policy EB calendar.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Ms. John?
Yes.
Mr. Sharam?
Yes.
Ms. Romeo?
Yes.
Mr. Jester?
Yes.
Dr. Schutz?
Yes.
Item 7D is a formality that we must take care of in order to close a building. The State Department of Education requires that we notify them of any school that will be taken offline or out of our system. And of course, we'll be closing Country Club Heights, and we have already done a great deal in terms of emptying that building out. Mr. Wade has the ads prepared for the advertisement. They'll be going out in the next week, and so we will be moving forward with that. But I need to be able to notify the state that the board has taken action to close that building as a school effective June 4th.
Move for approval.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Ms. Romeo?
Yes.
Ms. John?
Yes.
Mr. Jester?
Yes.
Mr. Sharam?
Yes.
Dr. Schutz?
Yes.
The ads that Mr. Beecham mentioned will request proposals to be submitted, sealed proposals, no later than Tuesday, July 10th at 2 p.m., at which time we would propose to open them in the auditorium at Shoemaker Center. That's all I have under the superintendent's report this evening.
Thank you. Are there any items that need to be removed from the consent agenda? Entertain a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Jester?
Yes.
Ms. Romeo?
Yes.
Mr. Sharam?
Yes.
Ms. John?
Yes.
Dr. Schutz?
Yes. Is there a need for an executive session tonight?
There is not.
Okay, thank you. Superintendent's report, personnel report.
Under item 13A, I would ask you to vote to approve the employing, promoting, disciplining, and receiving of resignations of individuals certified and support salaried personnel as they're listed on pages 39 and 44, 39 through 44. There's a large number of hirings for summer programs and all that are back there, but
Move for approval.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Ms. Romeo?
Yes.
Mr. Sharam?
Yes.
Ms. John?
Yes.
Mr. Jester?
Yes.
Dr. Schutz?
Yes.
under item 13B, I had intended tonight to bring you some recommendations. However, because of my late posting of a couple of positions, did not get interviews done on those. I did not want to do bits and pieces of it, so I will bring it all to you our next regular meeting, which is June 21st.
Consideration of new business. Next board meeting date, regularly scheduled, is Thursday, June 14th. This one says Shoemaker Center. There'll be a special meeting.
Yes, both in the special meeting on the 14th will be at Shoemaker, as well as the one on the 21st, because there's a conflict here.
Okay. Any board announcements? Consider a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Chester?
Yes.
Ms. Romeo?
Yes.
Ms. John?
Yes.
Mr. Sharam?
Yes.
Dr. Schutz?
Yes.
Thank you. And we will pause or take a brief break
feel